The Supreme Court will weigh in on a lightning rod issue, whether the president's health care law is constitutional, a question that has spawned heated debates on both sides. A Supreme Court ruling being heralded as the most important since Bush versus Gore in 2000. Not to mention, the decision will come during the heat of the presidential race. Here's ABC's Jake Tapper.
It has been a tumultuous journey for the president's health care law. From the passions of opponents in the August 2009 congressional town halls,
that they're going to ration health care.
None of you have done a darn thing.
To unanimous Republican opposition in Congress.
We're going to do everything that we can to make sure that Obamacare never is fully implemented.
And now to the serene but momentous U.S. Supreme Court, which will host a staggering 5.5 hours of oral arguments in March. And in June, the court will either uphold or strike down a key part of the law, just 5 months before the presidential election. At issue, a provision of the law known as the individual mandate, which requires every uninsured American to buy health insurance by 2014 or pay a penalty.
You can't be a free rider on everybody else. You can't not have health insurance, then go to the emergency room, and each of us now have to pay the premiums for you.
Lawyers representing 26 states say the federal government has no right to tell people what to buy. The healthcare law is tremendously unpopular, with a new high of 51% of Americans viewing it unfavorably and a new low of 34% approving of it. And Diane, as for the political ramifications of this, with a decision possibly coming down in the middle of the presidential election campaign season, White House officials say they're confident that the Supreme Court will uphold the constitutionality of the law, but they argue with some positive spin. If they do strike it down, it could give Democrats a rallying cry for the November elections, giving Democrats something to fight for. That's their optimistic view of a possible defeat. Diane.
Okay, Jake, and just to make it clear, you're not just sunning yourself on the beach. I'll tell everyone why you are in Hawaii tonight.
No.
Jake is traveling with the president, who attended the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Conference. And we always love looking at the so-called family photos of world leaders. But look at something different. What's missing? The traditional attire from the host country world leaders usually wear. 1994, take a look. Bill Clinton in batik in Indonesia. And in 2001, President Bush in China wearing his silk jacket. And 3 years later, a poncho in Chile. And in 2009, President Obama wearing a tunic in Singapore. But this year, a break with tradition. No grass skirts, no Hawaiian shirts, no coconut bras. The White House reportedly concerned those outfits distract from the serious issues being tackled at these summits.